Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Broken Sword 2, and when last we left off, turns out Bronson wasn't being entirely sincere. Surprising absolutely nobody, he wasn't going to build an improved museum, but a massive hotel which would rake in loads and loads of money, while also destroying the beautiful paradise that the museum was originally located in. So it seems that George is making some progress, as now he is in the Ketch Museum. Meanwhile, Nico in sunny England, which is rarely ever portrayed as sunny, even though there is quite a lot of sun here quite a lot of the time, is currently in one of the museums of London, hoping that she can find any clues that will lead towards the stone that she's looking for. The only item that she has in her inventory is this.
There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip.
Well, now we have this item.
It was a hair clip.
It will inevitably come in handy at some point. Let's have a look around, shall we?
The carving looked Central or South American in style, perhaps Aztec.
Anything we can find on it?
I doubted I could sneak this enormous stone out under my jacket.
Or maybe you can. You never know.
The corridor led back to the main entrance.
I take it we can't just leave.
I wasn't leaving here until I'd got what I'd come for.
That makes sense. There's also this here, but we'll have a look at that later. There's a phone, though. This is far more important, clearly.
It was a phone, probably for staff only.
Can we use it?
I didn't need to make a call.
Fair enough. Let's have a look at this.
The display case contained a couple of vases.
Let's have a closer look. Maybe there's a clue on one of them.
Perhaps I'm a Philistine, but old vases bore me.
Fair enough. And there are people here we can talk to.
The two Japanese girls were inexplicably amused by something.
Well, let's talk to them. Hello.
Bonjour. I wonder if you could help me.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
What's so funny? Oh, never mind.
I don't think we're going to be learning anything from them.
It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design.
Well, let's have a look at it.
Excuse me, miss. Please don't touch the exhibits.
Oh, sorry about that.
The mask looked more African than American.
Any clues on the mask?
I didn't want the mask, although it certainly reminded me of somebody.
Let's look over here, shall we? Perhaps there is something over here that we can have a look at. There's also you that we can talk to. And there's this to look at, and this to look at, and this to look at. And we'll have a look at all of this.
The carving looked Buddhist in subject, but Mesoamerican in execution.
Closer look?
I wanted nothing to do with that statue. It made me nervous somehow.
And what about this one?
There was a huge carving of somebody who must have been important once.
Anything interesting about it?
There was nothing I wanted to do with the statue except find out where he bought his hat. Très chic.
I think you might not find anyone that can help you with that.
It was a small flat square of polished obsidian. Nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the Scrying Mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake.
Curious.
The cabinet was locked.
And I'm surprised that he didn't notice that we were trying to open it. Let's have a look at this person.
The attendant didn't show it, but I sensed he was watching my every move.
He likely is watching your every move. There is one more thing over here that we can have a look at. This.
It was a stone identical in size and style to the Coyote stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar.
Curious.
The cabinet was locked.
We need to talk to the attendant, I think. Only he will be able to help us get closer to the item we want. Hello, how are you?
Can I help you, miss?
You certainly can. We have lots of things that we can talk about. Like this hairpin.
I didn't think the museum attendant would be interested in a hair grip. Not even a cute one like this.
So we can't talk about that. We can talk about this person, though.
Have you ever heard of an English sea captain called El Draco?
El Draco? Not a very English name.
I think that's what the Spanish would have called him. It was about the time of the conquistadors.
16th century. Oh, I know. That's what the Spanish called Sir Francis Drake.
Francis Drake? Have you got anything here that belonged to him?
Indeed, miss. We have a couple of artifacts he brought back from one of his journeys.
That's handy.
What can you tell me about the Scrying Mirror?
Ah, that belonged to the alchemist and part-time Elizabethan spy, Dr. John Dee. It was brought back from the New World by Sir Francis Drake and presented to him. It's Mayan, you know.
Curious.
What is a Scrying Mirror?
It's rather like a crystal ball, and you can't see anything in it. Apparently, he had a partner who used it to talk with angels. If you ask me, you were barking mad.
We can keep talking about this.
It didn't look anything like the Coyote Stone. This one was like a little black shaving mirror. Is the Scrying Mirror the only piece of obsidian Drake gave Dee?
Funny you should ask. There's another called the Jaguar Stone. Dee never liked it though. Said there were angels in the mirror, but devils in that stone.
Curious.
Can I take a closer look at Dee's mirror, please?
No, you cannot. That's why the cabinet is locked. They tried some newfangled interactive scheme, and you can guess what happened. Bloody kids ran off with half the exhibits. Hands-on experience, my foot. In my days, it was hands off, I ask you. What do kids know about ancient Mayan civilization? Nothing.
And now we're going to ask about the thing we're looking for.
Can you tell me something about the Jaguar Stone?
Certainly, miss. The so-called Jaguar Stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented, with, as you already know, the more famous Scrying Mirror, to John Dee. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
Go have a look. He might tell you something important.
There. John Dee's famous Scrying Mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Who? Tizletlik... I can't even say it. Ah, there's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me.
Oh?
This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Roubillet?
Eh? What?
You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
What a coincidence.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle? France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
Let's ask about the eclipse, shall we?
I thought you were going to stay in Quaramonte to witness the eclipse.
Alas, business comes first. An important consignment of artifacts on loan to the British Museum. But I intend to return to Quaramonte in plenty of time.
That's handy.
Professor Roubillet, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Not suspicious at all, eh?
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar Stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way.
It's gone.
It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Ubiye showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for that crack security team to finish that tea. I had to get after him.
We indeed need to get after that thief. The thief being Ubiye. We need to, find out how we can get out of here.
The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs.
Curious. Can we open this? That might be a good idea. Let's see if we can, actually, that's a good point. If somebody has opened that, surely there must be a key in there, right? There is a key in there right now. Can we grab that key?
It was a small key intended for a small lock.
Will he let us take it? That's a question. He's not very observant right now, is he? Not even slightly.
The attendant didn't show it, but I sensed he was watching my every move.
Except for that one. Let's talk to him, shall we? There are 3 things that we can talk about. We can probably talk about the ship.
Don't you think it's suspicious that Ubiye has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo, an exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess, moored down by Tower Bridge. Why do you ask?
Just wondering.
Just fishing for information, rather.
I didn't steal the stone. I was nowhere near it.
So who do you suppose did steal it?
Well, we know who stole it. Ubiye stole it.
It must have been Ubiye.
Huh! Begging your pardon, but he's a man of letters. A professor.
So was Moriarty. Man of letters or not, he's your culprit.
And now, let's ask about the key.
Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Ubiye.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away.
Which means you're distracted. Could you move to phone the police a little more urgently? Just a little?
Hello?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Ubiye, and fast.
But before we do that, we are totally going to take that dagger. This key wouldn't have been offered to us if we weren't going to need it. So let's just use this on here. I'm sure they won't miss the dagger.
The key unlocked the case.
Let us, go and grab this, shall we? I don't think we're going to need that. Can we grab the key?
I locked the case again and took the key.
Good plan. I don't think there's anything else that, we need to do. Unless... Can we open this one? I get the feeling that opening that one might be a bad idea. I'm going to save before we try and open that one. I don't think we need it, but it might work. Maybe we don't need it.
The key didn't fit this lock.
Fair enough, we can't take that even if we wanted to. But there must be something over here, though, because Ubiye came from this way, and there's no way... Maybe behind the curtain? Maybe. Aha! We could use the dagger. I don't think the key is going to work, but the dagger might. Then again, it might not even be locked.
The doors were securely locked.
Never mind, it's locked. Let's try and jimmy it open, shall we?
I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.
Meanwhile, back in the Caribbean.
The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective.
It looks really effective. Let's have a look at everything, shall we?
It was a beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship.
The exit behind the curtain was the best way to get out of the museum in London, because if we'd have tried to go out through the main exit, I imagine the guy on the phone would have noticed and tried to stop us. Let's see if there's anything important about the ship.
The ship looked too fragile to touch.
Fair enough.
It was an old book with spidery writing covering the open pages.
Can we read it?
March 20th, 1676. Engaged frigate off Fan Salvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle?
That is a suspiciously placed phrase. I think that's probably going to be very useful.
It was Captain Ketch's sea chest. Its battered appearance hinted at salty tales of maritime adventure and swashbuckling. Long months at sea with a rum-sodden, mutinous crew, hardtack and scurvy. And this chest, full to the brim with Ketch's loot, pearls, diamonds, emeralds, and doubloons. On the other hand, it could have been full of spare blankets.
I think the latter is far more likely.
Surprise!
Hello?
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? Pfft, I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws,
Jeez.
make your mind up.
There's a lot we can talk about. Let's start talking about things, shall we? Like Ketch.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah? Boy, that's interesting.
He was a sailor captain. This is his house.
Let's talk about Rio.
Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
Because Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad.
Let's keep talking about Rio.
Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
And this is still a conversation topic.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
And let's talk about the device that we still have in our pocket.
Do you know how to use a theodolite?
We don't learn anything about surveying at my school. Not until 5th grade.
5th grade? The fact that you even learn about surveying is quite a thing.
Would you like to play darts?
No?
Oh, come on. I'll throw, you catch.
That's dangerous. Darts will stick in me and make me bleed.
Too smart for you, George.
I bet you can't keep this piece of coal in your mouth for the next half hour.
Good too. I could keep it in my mouth for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah? Go on then. Prove it.
don't want to. And if you try to make me, I'll tell Aunt Mina.
Finally, let's show the exceptionally plot-important item to Emily. I'm sure this won't go terribly wrong.
Look, an ancient Mayan stone.
Is that a magic stone?
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
She's not very impressed about the fact that it isn't magical. She's just going to hang around, I think, and hopefully she will be able to help us out. She does have a very large cross around her neck. I bet that's going to be important. And so, when we come back, folks, we will continue exploring this museum. And with luck, we will find what we're looking for, or at least find out where we can go to find what we're looking for. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.